Welcome back to part 2 of how to make this ultimate merch table sign. This sign just looks really cool. It's going to be a dimly lit bar with your band, and it's just going to kind of, I don't know, it just looks really cool for your merch table. So I just wanted to show you guys how to make it. And if you haven't seen the first part, I'm going to put an annotation right there, click right there, so you can see how I built it. So continuing off from the first video, we're going to go into cutting of the foam core, the backing of the sign. So now I got the hole cut for the backing of the sign, and what I'm going to do is kind of just like place it on top, hold it up to the light, and kind of can see how it'll shine through. And that's how it'll look like when it shines through. Now you could use any kind of lighting method you want, but as long as you get something kind of small and portable, it helps, or whatever you want. I have to apologize for my iPhone. I don't know what was going on with it. It's kind of pixelating and jumpy, so it's going to get kind of scratchy here. But anyways, what I did was I put wax paper on the back, and I was using tape, but instead what I wanted to use was spray adhesive. So now what you want to do is you want to adhere with the spray adhesive, or a glue stick, or hot glue gun, whichever one you think is best, but I thought spray adhesive was really good, and you want to put it on the outline. Now here Dave is busting out the Dremel tool. It's my first time using a Dremel tool, and we are building the frame for the sign. So what we used was some modeling wood. I've never used modeling wood before, but it's really light. It's better than, it was easy to cut. We're using the Dremel tool, and even if I got halfway through, I could literally just break it with my hands because it was so light. And it was good for the frame too, because it is wood, but at the same time, if we use real wood, it'd just be really heavy. And I don't really know what we would have used if we didn't use the modeling wood, but you could get really creative with the frame. Okay, so here what we're going to do is I'm putting down the modeling wood and I'm measuring it out. What we wanted to do, we were kind of coming up with ideas. We were trying to ad-libbing this whole thing. So what we decided here was we were going to have one long piece of wood and 4 small pieces. So the one long piece of wood would go on the top and on the bottom. So we'll take the 4 pieces and we'll stick it to the frame, and then we'll take the 2 long pieces and stick them on the top. Now the reason why I wanted to have 2 layers is because I wanted to have enough spacing between the sign and also the lighting medium that we're going to use. I'm skipping ahead here. I forgot to film it, I got kind of caught up, but what we did was we finished it already, and you can see the framing. We have, what I did was we added the 3 long planks, and we used a hot glue gun at this point. I didn't use spray adhesive. I wanted to use the glue gun. It held a lot stronger, and it kind of worked out because what we wanted to use was the LED lights. And the LED lights, I'm going to put a link in the description below where you can get them on eBay for pretty cheap. We use these light sticks. You press the button and there's like these styrofoam light sticks. They light up. What we did was we just took a knife and we cut away the styrofoam. And then inside the stick was these lights. And what you can see is I'm pointing out the framing here of how it's built. And again, just using a hot glue gun to stick it all together. Okay, so what we did was I just wanted to make sure that there was enough room between the LED lights and the outline. So it kind of worked out with these planks, because what we did was we put the lights, and these are the lights. You could bend these wires and move the lights around. And we used the planks. We didn't glue them first. We kind of put them down, and then we measured how these LED lights will fit in very snug. And if you press that button right there, this one is a dead LED light, but if you press that button, they'll light up. You have like 4 different changes. You could do 3 different colors. You can have it like strobe, or slow transition. But again, what we did was before we glued it down, we put the lights in, and then we measured it down. You can see those marks right there I made with the pen. And then what I did was, when we finally glued it down, I used those marks as reference, and I just used tape to hold them down, and it holds pretty well. They're really light. Okay, now what you'll do is you press this little button here. Kind of see the different transitions. There's a strobe. Click it again. There's a light transition. Click it again. It's a solid color. And then you get different modes. You can choose what you want. I like this little transition one. So then you just slide it in and just use regular old Scotch tape. Again, these things aren't very heavy. Okay, now the next thing is you want to adhere it to, I use a suitcase for my merch table. You want to adhere it to the suitcase. So all I did was I would go to the dollar store and get like some Velcro tabs, and I'd glue the tabs on the frame, and then I'd glue some on the inside of the suitcase, and then it stuck pretty well. And when you can see here, I use the slow transition. I haven't put in the Velcro tabs yet, but as you can see here, it looks pretty sweet. It's going to look really cool in the bar when it lights up. These last pretty long. Not sure how long they last. I'm about to find out pretty soon. But yeah, it looks pretty awesome. And all you need is the Velcro tabs is the next step.